Highlights. Jacob deGrom-Madison Bumgarner matchup turns into slugfest. Justin Rano's Grand Slam, one of few highlights. San Francisco, it is impossible, with any certainty, to pinpoint precisely when a season ceases to justify hope. Fancy statistics and mathematics can go only so far. And even if such a feeling took residence in the clubhouse, it would be fiercely guarded from public view. Latest Mets stories. Mets scratched from Friday night's start. Slumping Jay Bruce remains confident. Alderson doesn't plan to replace Collins. Knees blasted by D-backs in Mets loss. Mets about to get Cespedes, Cabrera back. The only evidence, then, is what can be gleaned on the field. And what the Mets have consistently presented is an overwhelmingly bleak picture, one littered with dark smudges and stains, such as Thursday night's 10-7 loss to the Giants. The defeat was distinctive in its awful timing and unyielding torment, a postcard from a promising season gone so wrong. The pivotal moment, manager Terry Collins said, unfolded before we could blink. Journeyman Justin Rano hit a fourth-inning grand slam off Madison Bumgarner, one of the most improbable homers of the season, to give the Mets a 4-0 lead. Mets. Giants 10, Mets 7. But it was merely a prelude to horror. Advertisement, advertise on Newsday. The Giants responded with 8 consecutive runs, sending Mets ace Jacob deGrom to one of the worst starts of his career and turning a highly anticipated pitcher's duel into glorified batting practice. It seemed like everything I threw went right down the middle, said deGrom, 7'6", 2.73 ERA, who lasted only 5 innings on a night in which the Mets bullpen was short. These guys did a great job. Tonight's on me. I was terrible out there. deGrom set career highs for hits, 13, and runs allowed, 8, and the Mets absorbed another kick in the teeth. They dipped below the .500 mark, 60-61, and slid 4.5 games back in the chase for the final wild card. Mets pitching has allowed 38 runs in the last 4 games, and the news only worsened after the game when the Mets announced that Steven Matz will be scratched from his scheduled start on Friday night. He will be replaced by Seth Lugo. Mets. Alderson doesn't plan to replace Collins. The Giants' 10-21 slump since the All-Star break has cost them first place in the NL West, but playing another team in a free-fall was hardly an elixir for the Mets, who have lost 15 of their last 22 games. Mets videos. You've got to say to yourself, in the middle of the game, you've got a 4-run lead with Jake deGrom, Collins said. Your chances of winning the game are good. Indeed, Rano briefly allowed the Mets to believe that their fortunes might turn. Marooned with the Rangers' AAA affiliate, he was released and signed with the Mets on July 30. He played 3 games, bungled a few fly balls and pulled his hamstring. But Rano has had success against Bumgarner, which is why the Mets made sure his rehab assignment ended in time for the series opener against the Giants. The move ultimately looked shrewd. In the 4th, Rano appeared to strike out looking on a slider that buzzed the bottom of the strike zone, but plate umpire Brian Gorman did not move his hand, sending a wave of groans sweeping over AT&T Park. In the dugout, Giants skipper Bruce Bochy fumed. Replays confirmed, the Mets caught a break. 2 pitches later, they caught another. With the count full, Bumgarner, 12-7, 2.25, left a slider over the plate, and Rano drove it into the netting that protects the garden behind the center field fence. I took a long at-bat with him and finally got something I could hit, Rano said. Advertisement, advertise on Newsday. The Mets led 4-0 behind their first Grand Slam since April, off the bat of a player who hadn't homered in the big leagues since September 29. And as an added bonus, the Mets handed the cushion over to deGrom, who had allowed 2 runs in his previous 30 2/3 innings. But the lead wouldn't last through the inning. Hunter Pence laced an RBI single, Eduardo Nunez tripled home 2 more and Bumgarner added the twist of the knife. One of the best hitting pitchers in baseball, he hit his third homer of the year for a 5-4 lead. The Giants tacked on 3 runs in the 5th behind an RBI single by Nunez and a 2-run double by Joe Panik. Ty Kelly laced a 2-run triple in the 6th and scored on Rene Rivera's ground out to make it 8-7, but it proved to be a tease. Buster Posey's 2-run double off the right field wall in the 8th extinguished hopes of a comeback. By the end, all the Mets could do was cling to the hope that reinforcements haven't come too late. Yoenis Cespedes and Asdrubal Cabrera are expected to be activated from the disabled list. Advertisement: advertise on Newsday. We're getting healthier, you know. Rano said. Trying to stay positive around here.